Ahsoka Season 2 just wrapped, and today we're cutting through the noise to lay out what's confirmed, what's most likely, and how it all snaps into the bigger picture.
Rain hellfire upon them.
By the end of this video, you'll know why Dathomir suddenly matters, why those coffins aren't just creepy set dressing, and how Ahsoka's choices on Peridea could tip the entire timeline. And here's the real kicker, Thrawn might not need a big battle to win the opening move. We'll break down why. You're in the right place if you love big picture Star Wars.
Ezra's where he needs to be. And so are we.
Before we jump in, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to smash that hype button too, it really helps. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into it.
Nothing. Just shadows in the starlight.
Now, since the sequel's wrapped, Star Wars has been quietly stitching together the post-Endor era through the Disney Plus shows. Din and Grogu open a door to a bigger, stranger galaxy, fringe worlds, creatures, and threats that never really died, and bit by bit, the table's been set. And just think, if the New Republic is out there celebrating those small wins while Thrawn plays for time, are they already losing and don't know it?
Time is very much on our side now, and I should keep it that way.
Anyways, along the way we learned Boba Fett didn't go out in the Sarlacc after all, and we caught Luke at the very start of rebuilding the Jedi, laying the very first stones of his academy, and then there's Ahsoka, the engine of this timeline. She's not walking the old Jedi road anymore, but she's still fighting for what they tried to be, peace, justice, and balance, and Season 1 hammered that home. She's a Clone Wars survivor who knows preserving the future sometimes means refusing to repeat the past.
I choose to live.
And that's really the lens for this video. I'm not here to rehash every beat, I want to show why these moments happen right now, and how they point to what Season 2 is actually doing. The groundwork's there, Din and Grogu broadened the map, Luke framed the Jedi question, and Ahsoka gave this era its spine. From here, everything we look at feeds the bigger picture of how Season 2 kicks the door open. Alright, to see where Season 2 is actually headed, quick rewind to where we left things last time out. She spends the start of the season tracing Imperial Remnant activity, and piecing together a pattern that points to one name, Grand Admiral Thrawn. The Remnant treats him like a missing keystone, getting back and suddenly a scattered movement turns into a coordinated threat. And yeah, that trail drags us beyond the familiar map to Peridea, where Thrawn and Ezra have been stuck for years, and where the real curveball is waiting.
More witches.
Baylan Skoll and his apprentice Shin Hati came along for the ride too. They helped set Thrawn's return in motion, up until Baylan senses something older and much bigger calling to him from the planet itself. He breaks ranks to chase it, convinced he can end the galaxy's endless tug of war by tapping into whatever that power is. Meanwhile, Ahsoka fights two battles at once, out there with sabers and starfighters, and in here with the weight of her past, guided by not just the memory of Anakin, but by his very real presence. And so when the dust settles, the scoreboard looks rough for the heroes. Thrawn makes it home with the Great Mothers, and a hold full of ominous cargo.
Approaching Dathomir, Grand Admiral.
Ahsoka, Sabine, and Huyang are stranded on Peridea. Baylan's hunt continues. Shin's on her own, and the one bright spot is Ezra. He actually makes it back to the main galaxy. But here's the uncomfortable question, if Thrawn's return is exactly what he needed, have the heroes actually won anything that matters yet? So yeah, that's the pressure cooker Season 2 opens on, and it's why the next moves are gonna count double. And so yeah, heading into Season 2, the board's already split. Thrawn didn't just land anywhere, he touched down on Dathomir with those Night Sister coffins, which pretty much screams that planet isn't just a backdrop, it's the staging ground. Meanwhile, Ezra's made it home to Hera.
Ezra?
Hi, Hera.
Ahsoka and Sabine are still stranded, and Baylan's literally standing on the Mortis statues, staring at a mystery that's bigger than any fleet. So from frame 1, we're running 2 tracks, the New Republic likely trying to box Thrawn in here, while Ahsoka's off chasing a mythical level problem over there. Don't expect a straight line this season, it's going to be cross-cut, so on the Dathomir side, the cargo matters.
With our enemy distracted, the cargo transfer is now almost complete.
If those coffins are what we think they are, Night Sisters waiting to be brought back, the Great Mothers aren't just helping Thrawn, they're rebuilding their own house. That turns Dathomir into a supply hub for magic. Revive your people, power your rituals, and field assets that a bunch of X-Wings can't simply blow away. Which raises the uncomfortable question, if the New Republic blows up a convoy and pats themselves on the back, did they actually slow Thrawn, or just buy him exactly what he needed? Time. Expect Hera to keep the pressure on the edges of the system, while Akbar runs the strategy board. And it's already been confirmed that Akbar's going to play a big role this season.
It's a trap!
Then we'll likely see Ezra sliding into those small team hits where intel actually matters more than explosions. We've seen enough reports of full sets being built, such as Home 1 and hangars full of X-Wings, to know that this isn't just a little skirmish, it's likely a campaign. And that's the dangerous part. Thrawn doesn't have to win big to be winning. If the scoreboard says New Republic 1, Thrawn 0 after an early raid, don't be shocked if the real play was happening off-screen and 3 steps ahead. Now, over on Peridea, it will become clear that Balin's not chasing a throne. He's chasing a fix. Ancient mechanisms, pre-Jedi tech, maybe even a doorway that bends how the Force interacts with the galaxy.
Perhaps they flee a power greater than their own.
Right now, it really seems to be a case that Ahsoka can't just swing harder here. If she repeats old Jedi mistakes, she risks opening exactly what Balin wants. And the main tension here isn't lightsaber against lightsaber either, it's whether she can choose balance when the easy answer is Force. And if Balin finds the switch before she finds the wisdom, what ripples back to our galaxy exactly? That's the emotional knife twist in it all. The war could start looking like blaster fire on Dathomir, while the real damage gets written by whatever wakes up on Peridea. And so yeah, that seems to be the shape of it. Thrawn trading pieces so he can actually control the clock. The Mothers rebuilding power in shadows, and Ahsoka walking a line where mercy might be the key to saving the future, or costing it. Now if those wins the New Republic celebrate turn out to be bait, what does the first real loss actually look like? Let's push into what that opening checkmate could be, and why it won't look like victory when it happens. Now here's how I see it playing out on screen. We're cutting back and forth between a New Republic hit and a Peridea breakthrough, both framed as wins right up until the mask slips. The New Republic strike tags the target it's set out for, perhaps some kind of convoy or something, only for the big reveal to hit. Thrawn priced this in from the start. He gives up a piece to lock in the things you can't replace on the timeline, time, a safe corridor, or perhaps even the last component the Great Mothers need. So when the fireworks finish and the cheers die down, the scoreboard looks good, but the position on the board is worse.
We have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Meanwhile, Dathomir isn't just a base, it's a power plant for the Night Sisters, because we're hearing they aren't Thrawn's henchmen. They're a third power rebuilding their own order, and that alliance only holds as long as it serves them. And so you can feel the friction loading the moment their goals diverge. Who blinks first, the tactician or the witches who have just restored an entire civilization? If their interests split mid-season, does Thrawn cut them loose or double down on the dark arts to keep pace? Now on Peridea, it seems Ahsoka and Sabine finally reached the thing Balin's been chasing. An ancient mechanism that doesn't play by Republic or Empire rules. It's a way to bend the board itself, and this to me sounds a lot like the World Between Worlds. Balin wants to end the cycle, even if it means kicking open a door we can't really close. Now, the real tension isn't who swings faster here, it's whether Ahsoka can end the threat without repeating the Jedi's old mistake of trying to dominate it and defeat it. If she chooses balance over annihilation, does mercy save the future, or does it give danger a room to return? And so the reveal I'm expecting is very double-edged. Ahsoka shuts the mechanism down and reseals the site. No rage kill, no victory lap.
Can't defeat me.
Perhaps. I don't have to.
While Thrawn sails out of Dathomir with exactly what he wanted. The New Republic avoids disaster but loses tempo. Thrawn trades a visible loss for invisible momentum. And the Mothers leave us with a problem that doesn't die. It waits. We end the season stronger on character, shakier on the map, and with pathways that didn't exist at the start now etched into the very fabric of the galaxy. So when the dust clears and everyone claims a win, the real question is, who actually changed the board here? And so where does all this land in the bigger timeline? Now, the next stop is the Mandalorian and Grogu in May 2026, which on paper looks pretty self-contained, Din and Grogu running New Republic missions, with plenty of chatter that Rotta the Hutt sits at the centre.
Impressive.
Now, that movie also works as the on-ramp for people who haven't watched the shows, a clean way to meet the era without having to do the homework. I'm betting Ahsoka Season 2 lands in the summer, late July, early August, to give the film breathing room and then carry the fuse into open conflict. Since the film arrives first, does the movie show us the cost on the ground, families, worlds, the choices Din and Grogu have to make when the New Republic's plan isn't enough? So Season 2 can pick up that thread and escalate it across the galaxy. And if Rotta's storyline is the Republic facing plot, is the real play to ease the theatre-only viewers into a conflict Thrawn's already tilted in his favour.
Today, victory is mine.
Long live the Empire.
The longer play points to Filoni's movie tying all these threads together, but I wouldn't be shocked to find a few other projects appear to widen the board before we get there. If that happens, are we looking at a steady drumbeat toward the finale, or a sprint where every win exposes a bigger problem the next story has to solve? But yeah, the big picture, Ahsoka Season 2 feels a lot bigger than I expected, in scope, in confidence, and in how it threads the era together. The pieces we've walked through actually line up with what Season 1 set in motion and what's been hinted at since. And it doesn't feel like a detour, it feels like the moment the board finally takes shape.
Rain hellfire upon them.
Now there's a ton of chatter about cameos, Padme, Leia, even Obi-Wan, but right now that's more smoke than fire. I'm not ruling anything out, I just don't think the season needs to hit that. If you want a second breakdown covering the rumour mill, I'm happy to do it, but this video is about what seems locked in. Season 1 already proved they can deliver a crowd pleaser without turning it into a cameo parade. Like Anakin's involvement had weight, it wasn't just a wink, so if Season 2 keeps that same energy, character first, mythic when it counts, and smart about where the real fight is, I think we can come out on the other side with a clearer map and higher stakes across the board. The fun question for me is, when the dust actually settles on the finale, will what looked like a win in the moment actually be the thing that costs them the most in the future? Either way, I'm optimistic. This feels like the season that turns speculation into momentum.
Ezra's where he needs to be. And so are we.
As always, drop your thoughts, theories, and wilder speculations down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our latest Starfighter upload covering an awesome Mara Jade theory, which you won't want to miss. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Tap the hype button if you haven't already, it's massively appreciated. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one, and may the Force be with you.